Strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. Welcome to your Hometown Health Show, brought to you by Triology Home Healthcare, the industry leader with over 30 years of experience in providing home healthcare services such as skilled nursing, physical and occupational therapy, home health aides, and other specialized care to your homes throughout the state. Please tune in every other week as we bring you a range of good information from specialists in the field to help make you more informed and living healthy.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to your Hometown Health Show. I'm Yolanda Santana, owner of All Bits Tech, an IT consulting company. This evening, we have the pleasure of having a special guest, Eric Towns from Emerald Park Assisted Living and Memory Care. This is, of course, sponsored by Triology Home Healthcare. So from Triology, we have Liza May and Jennifer Smith. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Good evening. All right. So we want to talk a little bit about Triology before we get into Emerald Park Assisted Living. So please, would you do us the honor to tell us about Triology?
Sure. Triology Home Health is a Medicare certified home health agency. We service almost the entire state of Florida, from Broward all the way up through Jacksonville, providing skilled nursing services, psych nursing, physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy,
respiratory therapy, psych.
Yep. All of those services, and we provide them in the home or assisted living facility as well.
All right, perfect. All right, so again, our special guest is Eric Towns, and would you please tell us a little bit about yourself and about your company?
Well, again, my name is Eric Towns, and thank you very much for having me. I'm from Emerald Park of Hollywood, Assisted Living, also Memory Care. It's 100 bed. We do provide all of those services as well in home. Physical therapy, we also have nursing, dining services, etc., housekeeping, personal care, whatever the services that are needed.
Okay, great. How does your company work with Triology?
Well, they're a home health care agency, so we do allow them to come in and help our residents if there's a need. If there's a physician order for PT, speech therapy, occupational therapy, they do come in and help. So we're grateful for them also.
All right, perfect. Let me just interject here. For those listening, we are live, Facebook Live, AM2 TV. You can also call, and if you have any questions, 1-888-565-1470. We're also on 95.3 FM and 1470 AM. So, Eric, can you start by letting our listeners know a little bit about your role at Emerald Park and your motto, your tagline?
Well, I'm the executive director of Emerald Park. So basically, I oversee the day-to-day operations and make sure that the staff and residents are safe and receiving the best possible care that they can have with us. I'm grateful for that opportunity.
That's great. And you're in Hollywood. Is that your only location?
Yes, for Emerald Park, Hollywood. Yes, we're right on the intersection of Sterling Road and 441.
Okay. So for our listeners that don't know, can you explain what assisted living is and the different types of assisted living?
Sure. Assisted living is a home-like setting. So you basically have your services. The goal is for you not to have to go out for your services. So you'll have your doctors to come in. You'll have therapy if you need it. All of your services are brought to you. So it's catered care. So housekeeping daily. Also, if you need assistance with bathing and dressing and things of that nature, that's brought in for you. Laundry, so a host of services to encourage you to be able to keep your independence. I know that that's a big fear when making that transition. So we try to make that as smooth as possible and bring all of the services to our residents.
Which is one of the reasons that we partner, so that his residents are able to stay there longer. The fear that I've heard with many, because I've worked in assisted living before as a marketing director, is, the resident saying, my daughter told me they'd never move me into a nursing home. Well, this is not a nursing home. Mm-hmm. This is luxury living. And it's very scary at 80 and 90, moving from a home that you've raise your children in and then having to go to another level of care where someone else is helping you. That's very difficult for someone to have to go from independent living to assisted care. And they think it's this thing that it isn't, that it's this nursing home where they're going to be sharing a room with someone else and someone's going to be doing everything for them. So it's very difficult for them to give up all of this independence. So I think when they see it and they feel it, it's not quite what they think it is. They have this stigma attached to assisted living that it's a nursing home, but it's not. And it's very difficult. You know, you're taking away a lot of their independence, or they feel that. So the generation that we're caring for now has this whole stigma attached to it. Whereas I think our generation is going to be like, sign me up, because I don't want to cook. I don't want to do laundry. I don't want to do any housekeeping. I forget to take my meds even now, and I'm in my 40s. So can you imagine what's going to happen to me when I'm in my 80s? Of course I'm going to forget to take my medications. So it's just a big stigma attached to it. And I think if we can educate them that this is not like a nursing home type setting. You know, if you walk in, it's gorgeous when you walk into their lobby. And you know, I've walked in and seen, you know, someone, or just had them, you know, doing activities right when you walk in, or playing the piano. It's beautiful when you walk in there. And it's just a dirty stigma, I think, attached to it.
And Emerald Park, Emerald Park is certainly luxury living. And there's always something going on. Every time I walk in, there's music playing. There's something going on for the residents. And you can feel like, you know, the residents really get into it, so they look forward to it. I wanted to mention also that in terms of Triology, something very special that we do to partner, and not every home health company offers, is we've talked about, I've spoken to Eric before about new patients when they move in, you know, how difficult it is for them when they transition from their home to an assisted living facility. They're very scared. They're moving away from their family, or from places that they know firsthand. So when they move in, something that we do offer is psychiatric nursing. So that's something that we've been able to incorporate in their community, where we have somebody that can maybe, you know, you have a resident that is missing home, is depressed, so we have the psychiatric nursing that can come in. We also have social workers that can work with the community. So that's something that we really help them out with.
And that's a big decision. It's a big decision, and a lot of people feel uncomfortable with that, as you mentioned. So, you know, when we get to work together to make the transition as smooth as possible, it just flows very well. Not to mention that we are a family-like environment. They can attest to that when they walk in. It's a very comfortable environment, and it's not institutionalized. It's not that type of setting at all. We want for them and their family members to feel welcome to come and visit at any time and see what we do. You mentioned the activities. We love having activities and having them incorporated, and also have the family members come and see for themselves. So it really helps
and just
to make it
going,
smooth.
Like, you're not going to always find Eric in his office. Like, one of the times when Lisa and I were there, we were looking for him, and he's always out and about, checking on residents and making his rounds, and that's all
very
the
involved,
staff. Very involved staff, which is nice. Very hands-on. And you need that with an executive director in the community, which is nice, because we were like, where are you? And he's sweating because he's out and about making his rounds, because he needs to. That's what you have to have as an executive director. You need someone who's involved in the community, knowing what's going on, and being involved.
Well, my background is in, a lot of my background is in social services and social work. So when someone comes into my community, I look at the whole picture. You know, where are they coming from? What are their fears? What are some of the things that they'd be interested in to make the transition smooth for them? And then we, you know, go over and above to match whatever services they need, whatever care they need, with whatever we're able to give them. And if it's something that we cannot provide, we'll use Triology or some outside service to be able to kind of pair up with us to make it as smooth as possible. You mentioned social workers. We have them to come in as well, and that makes it so much smoother for them.
That's great. That's really fantastic. Okay, so let's go into memory care. If you could explain a little bit about memory care and why and when someone should place their loved one in memory care.
Well, our memory care unit is locked. It's for Alzheimer's and dementia residents. So they may need some extra care, some extra love, some extra attention. They may have wandered at home and need that extra supervision, but still receive the same care and dignity that they would in what we would call our regular assisted living. So it would be more activities and things geared towards mental stimulation, activities that focus primarily on maintaining what they're able to keep cognitively. And so that's basically what we focus on in memory care. Some family members that may have to make that decision may find that, it's unsafe for them at home. They can no longer be at home anymore. Maybe there've been some accidents at home, leaving the stove on too long, wandering, leaving the home, not remembering where they are. And so that helps for them to transition into us, and they're safe, but they don't lose their independence. They're still able to choose which activities they want to participate in. They're still able to choose the food that they'd like to eat. So we want to encourage and promote them as well.
Yeah, that sounds really great. Sounds quite luxurious. I'd want to sign up for that. I have a grandmother who's, sometimes she wanders a bit, but she's still very independent.
Well, and that's the thing, because he's got the two levels, like the traditional assisted and the memory care. A lot of families are in denial about where their loved one is at. So sometimes they'll want to start in traditional assisted living with kind of closer eyes on them, and they realize, oh, maybe this wasn't the right fit, but they knowing that the memory care is right there, that they can easily transition them. Makes it a little bit better. They've got that safety net of, okay, well, we'll try assisted living, and okay, after 3 days, this was not the right option for them, that they actually have to move them into memory care. So at least they have that backup option of having the secure memory care there. Makes it a little bit easier for them to know, okay, well, we tried this. Okay, it didn't work. So, yeah, we know now we have to really move them into secure memory care.
And it's a team effort. There are a lot of people that are involved. So you have the physician, of course, that has to oversee. And then you have the nurse, the director of nursing that does the assessment. So when we have them to come in, we know what level they're going to be at. We'll supervise them. We'll see, what's happening. Are they comfortable? Is the setting right for them? Is it safe for them? We'll make sure that the team knows to, be observant to see if it's the best fit.
You have physicians on staff?
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
we do.
How many physicians?
With different specialties. We have a few. We have about 8.
Okay.
So different specialties. So you have your primary care. We also have, your optometrist. We have a dermatologist to come in, a podiatrist. So basically, again, whatever services that they need, we try to bring that to them. So if it's something that we don't have, they can feel free to ask for it. And if we can find a physician to come in with that specialty, we'll do that.
That's really great. Okay, so if anyone needs to get a hold of you, how, they call this number here, 954-987-5400?
Yes, that's
All
it.
All right, and if they wanted information, they could go to citadelcarecenters.com?
Yes.
Is there a website specific to Emerald Park?
No, but they can get some information on our management company, but we do have a Facebook page, Emerald Park of Hollywood.
Okay, perfect. All right, well, on that note, we're going to take a short commercial break. We will be right back.
Triology was established in 2016 by industry experts with over 30 years in home health care operations spanning 30-plus counties throughout the state of Florida. With offices in Jacksonville, Port St. Lucie, West Palm Beach, we strive to provide the most optimal care to our patients in a fun, forward-thinking environment. Our focus is on personal relationships, whether with an employee, a patient, or an outside community. Because we know that when people enjoy what they do, it becomes why they do it. Call Triology today at 954-689-6660 and ask for more information. In addition to offering the standard mix of services, SN, PT, OT, speech, MSW, and HHA, we also take great pride in being on the cutting edge and offering care and education to our licensed clinicians in other areas most agencies likely don't offer. Emotional and behavioral health with our psych nursing, biofeedback for bladder incontinence and pelvic pain, chemotherapy, IV hydration, antibiotic and respiratory therapy. Call today at 954-689-6660. Triology Home Care. You have been listening to the Triology Home Health Show, and if you wish to be a guest on our show, please call us at 561-670-9213 and let us share your knowledge and information with our listeners. Triology Home Health Care Show enjoys serving the community and bringing doctors and facilities of interest to help educate and inform the community. Please call us at 561-670-9213 and let us put you on the airwaves with the Triology Home Health Show.
Welcome back. You are listening and watching to your Hometown Health Show. I'm Yolanda Santana, and again, our special guest is Eric Towns from Emerald Park Assisted Living Facility and Memory Care Center. That's Emerald Park of Hollywood, right?
Yes.
Perfect. So I wanted to ask you about your other specialty programs that you have. Could you delve into what other programs you have, which ones you want to talk about that you're especially proud of?
Sure. We also are pet friendly. So that's important. A lot of people that are coming in are afraid of leaving their pets at home, and we understand that there's an emotional attachment there also. So we are pet friendly. We also do, again, have the therapies that come in, so the speech, occupational, physical therapy as well.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Any other wound care or physical
That we
therapy?
would have home health to come in for that.
Okay.
But we do offer that in-house.
And we have an excellent wound care program. Our nurses are highly certified in wound care. So, and for assisted living facilities, there's certain specifications or rules that they need to follow. So we need to keep those wounds under control so they can keep right. So your resident can stay comfortable in the assisted living facility. So we really help in that aspect, keeping that wound, healing it, maintaining it, so that the resident can stay at home in the ALF.
And you
in
offer
Emerald Park.
transportation?
Yes, we
as
do.
well.
We also have transportation. If the resident does not want to see a physician in-house, they can see their own physician. As long as it's within a 10-mile radius, we'll take them for transportation. If it's outside of that, we'll still make arrangements for transportation.
Okay. And so you're pet friendly. So does that mean, if you have someone that comes in with, a pet snake, you allow that?
Well, it's case by case. We have to think about safety, of course, but usually it's cats and dogs.
So, going back in all seriousness, what is respite care and who might benefit from the services offered through a facility like yours?
That's a great tool. Respite care is actually just a short stay. Usually it's about 2 weeks or so, and it gives them and also the family members an opportunity to kind of just see what it's like. What is assisted living? Is it the nursing home setting, where I fear, that setting? Is it institutionalized? It's not. And they get an opportunity to come in and see that and experience that. So they get all of the same services that they would if they were living there. The dining. So we have in-house dining, freshly cooked meals, nutritious meals. We have the housekeeping as well. We have a full staff of housekeepers and laundry. We have a maintenance team. We have, again, the transportation as a resource, CNAs and med techs. So medication management is important as well. And if they need someone to supervise their medications, they're forgetting, they need reminders, we provide that also.
What's the minimum on a respite care?
14 days.
14 days. Okay. So, given all the luxury and options and amenities that are offered with a service like yours, a facility like yours, who pays for it?
Well, that depends. There's a few options. So, for those that are able to, you have the private pay option. So, if you have had a savings or some annuity and you're able to pay it privately, you do have, of course, that option. And then Medicaid. Medicaid supplements some of the cost as well. If you're a spouse or a widow of a veteran, or you are that veteran, you may qualify for VA benefits as well that can help towards the cost. Or a long-term care policy. So some people pay into a policy and they're able to use those if they need an assisted living setting.
Yeah, definitely. I've heard of those, and for those of you that don't know, you definitely need to look into that. What would you say is special about your team members and those who work for Emerald Park Assisted Living?
Well, I'll say a little bit, but I actually want for them to mention some things because they're fresh eyes and they're coming in. Now, I'm there every day. I love what I do. But I have full confidence in my team. I have a very good team, and they can attest to that. All the way from our director of nursing to our memory care supervisor and activities director, our business office, the front desk receptionist, the housekeepers, the marketing director, the kitchen staff, the servers. Everyone plays a role, and they make it what it is. So everything that we've mentioned, the services that we offer, they're great, but they're what makes it special. They put the extra touch on it. They genuinely care, and that's not easy to find. So I take great pride in my team.
Okay.
He is very proud of his team, and I could tell, like, when you asked the question, how his smile lit up because he was really looking for the perfect fit for that team, and I think he has it right now. So they are like family. So even though they're very professional, they rely on each other. They're playful sometimes with each other, and they're very welcoming and very warm towards the residents. So that's very important. They're all on the same page. They all have the same goal and mission in mind. Is residents come first. We want them to feel at home because this is their home. So I see that every time I go, and that's why it's such a pleasure to partner with them.
It's just a happy environment. And I think every time we go in there, you just get welcomed. And I can't say that everywhere we go because I'm always in the field with my other reps, and I go into other communities and other facilities, and you just don't get that feel everywhere you go.
Yeah.
So it's just a warm feeling, and you'd want to be welcomed that way if you're a resident or a family member. So
definitely.
Goodness, these are rave reviews.
it's just nice when you go there, everyone's happy.
Yeah.
You
can go in sometimes and they have like a musical activity going on. And they're all dancing there with the residents, and then we come in and we're dancing with them too because it's just it's a happy break, so it doesn't feel like you're really working, even though they're working really hard.
I didn't mention that. Thank you. That is part of the activities. We do have live music pretty frequently, actually.
Okay.
There's always something going on there.
Great feeling. Because
Always.
again, it's a home-like setting. We want for people to be comfortable. It's not an institution, so. When you visit, you should feel welcome. You should feel like it's the place for you that you would trust to have your loved ones.
And in my experience, I've called on Emerald Park for a long time. I've seen that it's not only with the residents. The reason it works is because they care about their employees. So they make sure that the employees, the kitchen staff, the aides that work so hard, that they're really are happy and they want to come to work every day. And happy employees make for really great employees. So that's why the resident also is given that special touch because they take care of their employees so well.
Goodness. Okay. That being said, I feel like this question might be redundant, but what else sets you apart from other assisted living facilities in the community?
Triology.
Really, again, I think that's probably the most important piece. It is redundant because it has such a great impact, and it is the most important thing is your team. You can offer all of these services, and you can have a very nice building, but that's just a shell if you don't have the people that actually genuinely care about who they're servicing. So I will say it again. It's the team. That's what sets us apart from everyone else. And we take the time to get to know the residents as they come in, as they go through changes. The resident that you may have come and move in may not be the same resident over time. They may be going through emotional changes, maybe depression when they first come in, and adjusting to that and going through that change. And they need someone to kind of walk them through
you don't realize,
it.
even I would equate it to kind of like starting high school when you don't know anybody.
Right.
You're walking into even a dining room and they would say, I don't want to have assigned seating. And I would tell them, you're walking into this huge dining room where you don't know anybody.
Yeah.
It's like high school all over again. It can be a little catty. They can be kind of mean. There's little cliques. And so I would pair them up with people who I thought that they would get along with after meeting with them. And they're like, are you serious? I'm like, yes, this is what we need to do. When I was a marketing director, And when I would walk them into the dining room, they'd see this huge dining room and they're like, oh, I don't want to go in here. I want to eat in my room. I'm like, you're not eating in your room. You're going to go in here. And we're going to sit down at this table of ladies and you're going to get to know them. Like they thought it was insane, but it's scary, when they first move in. And it can be kind of terrifying doing this at 90 years old.
Yeah. So that's why it's so important to get to know the residents, as Eric said.
Absolutely.
So you can kind of pair them together because you know personally what they...
And when they first come in, we go over the whole, biography. What have you done? What's your history? What are your likes? What are your dislikes? What are your fears? What are some things that you want to kind of stay away from? Because our goal is to make sure that they feel comfortable and they're not isolated. The worst thing you could do is to come into a community where it's so engaging and kind of, be recluse.
Yep.
So it really helps to get to know them, in the beginning, and to also give them a chance to get to know us because we have our own personalities. It's very, we share. We share. We go back and forth. We can.
Give and take.
It's give and take. It's not just we're learning or they're learning from us or they're receiving from us. We receive from them, also. They've had whole lives before they've come to live with us, and so it's important to get to know where they're coming from and what they can contribute because living doesn't stop just because you go into assisted living. They have an opportunity to give back. Some of them, it's arts. Some of them sing. Some of them do other things, and they can bring their talents and mesh with us as well.
Contribute to the community.
That's really
Exactly.
great. That's really great. Okay, so we are actually running out of time. I want to delve into how can someone get a hold of you, please?
All right. Well, you can call the number at 954-987-5400, 954-987-5400. That's Emerald Park of Hollywood, or you can reach us on our Facebook page, Emerald Park of Hollywood, or you can go to our website, www.citadelcarecenters.com.
Perfect. All right, I would love to thank you for being our special guest tonight. Thank Triology.
you.
Again, I'm Yolanda. You've been listening to your Hometown Health Show. Have a great evening.
Triology Home Healthcare invites you to call our offices before making a decision about your home health and rehabilitative care. Different from other agencies, Triology offers specialized service that other agencies don't, providing exceptional care. That's who we are and what we do. Call us at 866-599-4959 or go to trilogyhomehealthcare.com.